I'm Richard Randall, and welcome back to The Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. It's the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb, a lot of people look at those automated valuations like you can find on Zillow or their neighbor's asking price to try to figure out what their home is worth. How does a home seller decide what price to set when they're selling their home? And how do they know how much they'll put in their pocket when they do sell?
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people aren't really sure. A lot of people will try to, get discounts and things like that. And I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's not as easy to sell homes right now. If you were trying to do this a year ago, you could put your house on the market probably and get a good buyer and move on. The only question is, did you leave money on the table? Because a good real estate agent might have gotten you even more money. However, pricing is one of those things. It's a really critical part of what you do when you get your home on the market. And the way they come up with pricing is based on, you have to prove the price if the buyer's getting a loan and substantiate it with similar sales that have sold in the past 6 months to a year, which is easy to do because the prices have come down over 42,000 in the last couple of months. So that's not a problem. But the question is, with all of a sudden, there's a lot more homes on the market and far less buyer demand, how much is that affecting price? And it does affect price because buyers have a lot more choices. They have a lot more negotiating room, right? So they can move on to some other house if they want to. So it's a really, really important decision. It's a part of marketing. And so we're going to talk about pricing, and we're going to talk about the cost of getting this right. If you price too high, the market's going to tell you right away. You'll have few showings. You may not get any offers. You may not have any showings. And if that's the case, the market is responding. It's feedback from the market that the home is not priced where buyers want to buy it. Or if it's priced too low, you could get offers below the low number, which sometimes we're seeing a lot of that right now. I will tell you, though, that the national statistics are generally, if you price a home high and then slowly walk the price down, you're actually going to net less money. So it's hard for them to guess how much their home is worth. If you look at these automated valuations, like you asked me about, they're all over the place. Let me show you a graph right here. This was one, I just put in an address on realtor.com, and it gives you these three charts, three different sources of automated valuations: CoreLogic, Quantum, and Collateral Analytics. So for that one home, the value spread right now between those three automated valuations was $100,000 difference. So how do you know where to price your home if you're looking at these online estimates of your home's value? It's not very accurate. Pricing it right, the market's going to tell you. I had one recently, right when the market started shifting, beautiful home. It's only maybe 3 years old. Looking at historic sales, we priced it initially at $625. After about a week, 10 days, the seller's like, okay, I'm getting showings. People are saying they love it, but no offers. I need to move. What do you think I should do? I said, you should make a price move. So we did about a 3% price move. And because we were getting showings and no offers, and that was the magic bullet. We went down to just below 600,000, boom, got a full price contract right away. And then if you have a home that needs work, you have to take that into your consideration as far as where you're going to price the home. And that's what we do when we sit down with sellers. We compare apples to apples, and then we deep dive and take a look at the pictures. Compare your home to that home, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Well, they have quartz counters and an all-new kitchen. You have the original kitchen. You haven't updated your flooring. What do you think a buyer would pay for your home looking at these two? Right. And so I let it be their decision because it is their decision. It's not my decision, even though some people think that, hey, my real estate agent said my home is worth X, and then it sits on the market and it doesn't sell. There's a problem, right? So in this case, they priced their home, which was a dated very nice 70s time warp. All they did was update the flooring. And after the market shifted, yes, we got 10 offers and it sold like a remodeled home because we were able to create demand. So pricing realistically versus optimistically almost always gets top dollar. And if you are thinking of making a move, you want to talk to somebody that really knows how to help you prepare for going on the market, how to position your home to command top dollar. And that's part of what we do. We sit down with the home sellers. We give them a range of value. We tell them exactly what their closing costs are going to be and give them a great idea what their home will sell for and how much they'll put in their pocket. So I've got an example in front of me, Richard, of a property. It's just a fictitious address where I said, okay, we looked at similar sales. The low end of similar sales is here. The middle end is here and the high end is there. When we looked at a similar home, almost identical home priced at the high end, currently on the market, the one thing that really stood out to us was it was sitting on the market for 51 days. It wasn't selling, right? So obviously the price is too high. So the market's going to tell you if you don't price appropriately. But we can go over all your closing costs. Typically, the biggest closing cost, believe it or not, is not the commission. It's paying off your mortgage. You got to pay off your mortgage to move on. And then there's usually title insurance, closing fees, transaction fees. They have to settle up taxes. And there also could be HOA fees. HOAs typically charge a fee for switching from one owner to another. I've got one closing actually very soon that they added another fee we weren't expecting in there, and it was called working capital. And I'd asked him when we wrote when we did the contract, did you remember paying this when you bought it? No, we don't have that. And sure enough, they tagged on $750 for quote,
oh my gosh,
working capital for the HOA. So that's kind of a sticker shock, when you get those kind of things. It's good to know those up front, but on balance, most people really don't pay a lot of attention when they buy a home what the closing costs are, right? It's just like, okay, these are my closing costs. I got to pay it to get the house.
Right.
So selling, a lot of people lean forward. So we give them a range of values and then we'll ask them, will this work for you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? Because we want to get them the most money. But at the end of the day, okay, you want to hire a real estate agent that knows how to create demand to get most of the buyers in there. So you will get the most money. But the market decides how much they're going to pay for your home. I'd love to get millions of dollars for every home. That'd be really fun. But at the end of the day, it's what the market says, right? So, and we can really drill down. And when we meet with the seller and we do that market evaluation and we look at their home and give them guidance on how to prepare, how to price, we can promote and we can get them top dollar, whatever that is in the market right now. Richard?
You're listening to The Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And you can listen to replays of the show anytime on all of the major podcasts and her website, barbhasthebuyers.com. Barb Schlinker, if you are thinking of making a move, give Barb a call, 719-301-3900. Now, Barb, what are the other magic bullets on pricing your home to get the very top dollar?
Well, I think it starts with understanding the market. Not everybody really understands the market, and it's changing so fast. I've actually never seen the home change this quickly. There's a reason right now why people are 20% of home sellers are reducing their price every single week, right? And it's very important how you price the home initially when you put it on the market, because that's usually kind of the honeymoon period where all the buyers in the buyer population are like, oh my gosh, look at that one. I have to see that. That looks like the best deal for me on the market right now. There is a little bit of ramp up time. Don't expect it to happen overnight. Don't expect bidding wars, okay? If it happens, it's great. It's a lot of fun, but that is not this market right now. And I have never seen this market shift this fast from a full-on seller's boom market to more of an even kind of almost a buyer's market, not quite, but almost a buyer's market right now. And the key is preparation, pricing, And you'll be successful very quickly if you do those things right and hire the agent that knows how to promote your home. Just ask Dave and Courtney. I just sold their home full price for cash in the first weekend. And it's because they did everything right. They followed the guidance. The home was in great shape. It was priced appropriately. We got top dollar. And guess what? They got the money out before the market corrects anymore, which is a good thing. Richard?
You're listening to Barb Schlinker of the Real Estate Voice Show. And if you're thinking of selling your home and you want to get the very most amount of money, then call Barb at 719-301-3900 or go ahead and visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing how to sell a house in a down market. Plus, as always, Barb's hot new listings. You don't want to miss any of those. Stay tuned.